All right, guys, so Netflix just bought Warner Brothers. And I've seen a lot of stuff online about many different things, but I don't actually agree with a lot of them. Some people say this is the end of the streaming wars. Netflix has won. They're just going to take everything and be done with it. But I'm not sure I agree. I don't think the streaming wars are over. I think kind of they almost have been over for a while. Netflix already had the vast majority of people who watch online stream Netflix. Like I remember watching a video where it's saying that Netflix does not care about piracy at all because people pirating TV shows and watching TV shows for free online just hurts their competition more than it hurts Netflix. And when I saw that, I'm like, oh wow, Netflix is in such a winning position. They don't even have to care about their competition in that way. So yeah, the streaming wars are not over. They kind of already were. I'm not calling Netflix the complete winner because I'm in no position to say that. But yeah, it's not over. There are still other streaming platforms out there. Disney Plus, Apple TV, Prime Video. These are all big hitters. Netflix isn't going to just kill them all completely with just one deal. So Netflix used to own like a lot of content. Do I think something's going to change with them owning huge IPs like Harry Potter and what was the other one? Harry Potter and DC Comics? No, I don't think Netflix is actually going to change their release model that much. So Netflix already ran on a type of model that's like a type of business and streaming model that is release a ton of content. It's kind of like YouTube almost. Release a ton of content and 1% or less than 1% of everything they release is going to drive all their sales, all their watch time, and carry all the shows that didn't make as much money. Kind of in how YouTube works. Like with YouTube, most people who get watched are watched by everybody. There's only like a couple channels and they get watched by the vast majority of people. And those big channels like Mr. Beast, the money Mr. Beast and all these other big creators make for YouTube's able to use that money to support kind of like and encourage more people to make content. Because if they didn't do that, people like Mr. Beast wouldn't exist. Mr. Beast exists today because of the big, huge creators like PewDiePie and whatever that made money for YouTube so that YouTube could host Mr. Beast's videos and allow him to grow to who he is today. And that, I think, is going to happen with Netflix too. Maybe we'll see with Netflix is that with these big IPs, instead of just one huge Harry Potter show, we're going to get like 5 shows. And out of those 5 Harry Potter shows, nobody's going to watch the 4 shitty ones, but there's going to be one that's going to be a god tier and everybody will watch it. And that one good Harry Potter show will be profitable enough and be popular enough that'll allow Netflix to make 5 more Harry Potter shows that one of them will be popular and it'll be enough to make 10 more Harry Potter shows. And so by the end of it, we'll have like 20 different Harry Potter stories, different Harry Potter shows, but only like 3 that are good. And the same thing can be said for DC Comics as well. Like there'll be every single DC character you could think of will have a TV show and only like 3 will be actually good. Like, oh, there'll be a Batman show and that will spin off into a really good Nightwing show and that will spin off into 5 other shitty Batman shows. So I think we'll actually get a lot of good shows out of this, but we're also going to get a shit ton of shitty shows, if that makes sense. Should regulators block this deal? Me personally, I don't know enough information to have a strong opinion on whether or not they should block this deal. I guess we'll find out if they do. If they do, then cool, they blocked it. If they don't, then they didn't. Okay, I don't know enough information to know if they should block this or not, or if it's good to block this. I don't know enough information. So, do I believe that Netflix's algorithm with Warner Bros. Prestigious shows will improve recommendations or make everything just bland? I think it's actually, like I was saying before, I think it's going to be a mix of making everything bland, but also we're still going to see those iconic shows come out. Netflix already does this. Like, sure, Netflix is making shitty shows, but have they dropped bangers? I actually can't think of a banger off the top of my head right now, so maybe they haven't been dropping bangers, but an example I can think of is just like Stranger Things. When Netflix was first dropping their own shows, Stranger Things was a banger show that they dropped, and maybe more shows will be dropped in that similar fashion. More banger shows could be coming out. Maybe Netflix didn't have any good IPs or any creative IPs. Maybe there's an argument they probably should have taken some risks on artists who wanted to make something creative, like Stranger Things. Stranger Things was an original idea. Maybe they should have taken a book out of that and created more original content, more risk like that. But the fact of the matter is that they just bought huge IPs, so we're not probably going to see as many more original shows, I would guess, and we're going to see more creative people making creative stuff with IP that Netflix just bought. So maybe instead of that director or artist that was making that cool idea, that new cool show, instead of them making it from their own idea, they're going to use their creativity to expand on an idea that's within the IP that Netflix just bought. What's my take on the impact of movie theaters? I actually came up with a kind of a interesting idea that I think Netflix could do. But first, I want to talk about, will it affect movie theaters? I think definitely. Already the CEO is talking about how movie theaters aren't good for consumers, which I think that's kind of crazy. But movie theaters were already going down and becoming less popular because of all streaming services. And to be honest, if they haven't died yet, I don't think they're going to be completely dead. Maybe we'll see a very, very strong reduction in movie theaters. Like instead of seeing 5 in your town, you're going to have 1. But I think it's just going to keep following the trend of movie theaters going down. I don't think this deal is going to be the death of movie theaters or something. Movie theaters have already been dying. This is not the nail in the coffin. This is more like another scoop of dirt that's been putting on the coffin. But my idea that I had was, I think Netflix might or should make a push towards movie theaters. Like imagine Netflix only branded movie theaters. Is that not consumer friendly? Yes, it is definitely not consumer friendly, but it would be interesting to see. Like an entire Netflix branded movie theater where you walk in and only watch Netflix IPs, Netflix stuff owned by Netflix. That would be interesting, to say the least. Maybe they have smaller theaters like that fit 10 people and you can watch whatever you want, because if you have a Netflix account, you can just walk in there, pay some money and watch whatever Netflix show you wanted to on the big screen. That might be cool. But yeah, I could see Netflix making a push towards movie theaters. That'd be interesting. Do I think this will empower creators and people with creative ideas to have bigger budgets and bigger ideas? I think it's going to be a mixed bag. I think it's going to lean towards the direction that big directors are going to have even bigger budgets and smaller directors are just going to have smaller budgets. The same idea that established directors get unlimited amounts of money for the Odyssey, and unlimited amounts of money for Avatar, but new directors get pennies. And I'm not sure I agree with that in a business standpoint, but also in a creative and moral standpoint either. So I don't think it's going to lead to bigger budgets and better stuff for people as a whole, but maybe bigger and better stuff towards the small top 5% directors and creators and stuff like that. So do I think Netflix is saving Warner Brothers from debt and all this stuff? No, I don't. I think that this is just a classic Netflix buying stuff, a classic big tech, Apple, big tech, Facebook buying smaller tech. Warner Bros. Is solely a production studio type thing, and Netflix is that plus a giant tech giant. So I don't think it's going to be that different or crazy in any way. It's already happened 1,000 times with different tech companies, you know. How do I feel about the AI angle that Netflix is going to use Warner Bros. Media and all their IPs to fuel their Netflix AI brain? I don't really think it's going to affect that much. Netflix could have just stolen those movies and uploaded it to their AI brain anyways, like Meta has done. And all these tech companies do that anyways, so there's no really big point in caring about Netflix can now legally do that. Like they probably already did do that. They probably already uploaded every single movie ever created to their AI brain, if they even have one, you know? If the deal closes, what am I most excited for Netflix to do with the Warner Bros. IP? Me personally, I've got my fingers crossed, and I'm praying to the Netflix CEO, Netflix gods. I'm praying to them that they please remake the last final seasons of Game of Thrones. Please, I beg of you. Game of Thrones, those last Game of Thrones We're shit. Please, why? Please remake them, Netflix. Okay, use all the AI you can to make those last seasons work, please. No, I'm joking, but yeah, I'm excited for Netflix to do stuff with their Game of Thrones IP, and I'm excited for DC stuff that's coming out too. In 5 years, here's my long-term prediction, and this is all based on nothing, just my brain. I'm not an expert in this field at all, okay? But my prediction, in 5 years, we're gonna see more big buyouts. Netflix buys Warner Brothers, sure. You know, I think Apple might buy Disney. Who knows? Amazon might buy Paramount. I think these big tech giants are just gonna keep getting bigger. They've already got the GDP of countries under their belt. Yeah, they're just gonna combine and be bigger, and the only people releasing movies are gonna be the tech giants, you know? And is this better overall? I don't know. I'm like, just gut feeling says that big tech giants owning everything is not good. Ooh, hot take. But yeah, that's just my gut feeling. However, we can't really tell the future, you know? 5 years, well, anything can happen in 5 years, you know? Now I'm going to react to 5 tweets, okay? Now I'm going to react to 5 tweets. The first one is from Deson Prenom. He says, in this context, the theatrical experiences is not just threatened, it's destined to die. And blah, 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 blah. And I agree with him completely, but not because of this Netflix deal. It was already destined to die. It was already on the downhill. And also, I also don't think it'll completely die. It's just going to be significantly less strong than it once was. Gone are the days where movie theaters reigned. At-home theaters are on the rise. All right, next one is from Kyoto Shop FR, and it's saying that this is in French. It's saying that Netflix is going to own JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. I've never seen JoJo's, but that is very cool that Netflix owns that, and can't wait for another shitty anime live-action remake. That's just what's going to happen, guys. I'm sorry. That you really think they're going to do something creative with it, or are they just going to do another Avatar live action, One Piece live action? Like, come on, guys, what do we think is going to happen? JoJo Bizarre Adventure live action is definitely coming now. All right, next one from Kiruti. Netflix had to send an advisory to its subscribers about the impending acquisition of Warner Brothers. Yeah, they did. That makes sense. There's when something big happens in a company, they have to let their subscribers, let their customers know. Or they should, at least. They don't have to, I guess, but they should. And just expect, they're basically telling their customers, hey guys, just expect we're going to be increasing your prices next year. You think this $96 billion buyout or $70 billion, however much it was, you think this is free? Nah, that bill's going to you. There's a call to supporting DC films in theaters. Yeah. I mean, like, if you like watching movies in theaters, you should go watch movies in theaters. I guess it is kind of sad that some movies won't be released in theaters now because Netflix, especially with the CEO who doesn't like movie theaters, will think that people don't want to see it in theaters. And before, you could have like a shitty movie. You could see Morbius in theaters, you know, but now maybe they'll save it for only big movies that they know will make money. Like, maybe studios won't take any more risks with movie theaters. They'll just save them and only release the good stuff that they know people will like into the movie theaters. So next one's from PJWAI. So what do you take away the Netflix? That's a whole nother idea about AI taking over the movie industry. I think it's in a tough spot, and it's also in a tough spot for YouTube too. So we're on a ticking time clock, time bomb as well. But yeah, it's coming anyway, so you can't really do anything about it. You can just live your day by day, you know? But yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it. This is what I think about the Netflix acquisition of Warner Brothers. And let me know if you agree with this stuff. If you strongly disagree, please let me know as well. I always am open to constructive criticism. Yeah, guys, peace and love. Stay positive, though, guys. Stay positive, and peace and love. Ciao.